Hello, welcome to. I don't even know what this is called. I guess we'll call this a garbage take. That's the if you don't know, like, so technically we have two different podcasts that are slash streams. One is Garbage Take, where we just talk about whatever movie, video game, or something like that, and then Anime on the Rocks is supposed to be our anime thing, but like so maybe this will change. Maybe I'll change the name of this in the future. Let's just call this podcast for now. Welcome to podcast.
Happy to meet y'all.
Yeah, so this is a kind of a new format. I think I'm gonna try to post podcasts more. Maybe limit streaming a little bit. If we start to pop off, maybe I'll start up streaming again, or you know, if we decide streaming is better, then that's fine. But I just want to try this out. Maybe we'll get more views doing it this way. You know, this channel is about experimenting. We do video essays, we do fucking gameplay. Like we don't know what the fuck we are. We're like a little redheaded stepchild. No one likes us, but we want attention. But yeah, so if you guys have tuned in to recent streams, you probably know Leon, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself anyways. So Leon, take it away.
Hey, name's Leon. I'm here. I'm a guest host here. Also, I write on the side, and I do a bunch of fun stuff there. Yeah, that's me. I like anime. I like manga, and I also dabble in some comics and Marvel stuff and DC. So that's me.
You're an everyman. You're an everyman. You just do everything.
Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to sell yourself short here, but I would say you are an everyman. You're a jack of all trades.
Yup. I dabble a little here and everything. I know a little bit of everything. Who knows?
I know a little bit of everything. It's true. It's true. Don't let the ego fool you. So, the last stream we did, I believe that was the last stream. Yeah, I went over my my issues with the current Daredevil show. I've softened a little bit. I think it was just that first reaction kind of thing. I still think it's not as good. It doesn't even hold a fucking candle to whatchamacallit, to the Netflix shows. There's no contest. It's not even fucking close. It's not even no. But I don't know.
I mean, now out of the gate to kill Foggy, then yeah, it's not going to be as good.
Yeah. I mean, since this is the first recorded one, I might as well just say basically my issues with it are this, even though they promoted this as Daredevil season 4, it very much is not. It is very much, hey, we are Disney, we don't really care about the main trio of the Daredevil show, which was Foggy, Karen, and Matt. We only care about Daredevil and him doing Daredevil stuff, which surprisingly, there's not been a ton of Daredevil this season. It's been 4 episodes. But I mean, that's keeping true with the Netflix show. I mean, the Netflix show, half the time he was not in the suit. So, they didn't do what I think they were going to do, which is like, all right, fuck this lawyer stuff. Let's focus on Daredevil being Daredevil. But they haven't really done that, which is restraint, and I kind of respect it, low-key. But also, they definitely shoot off Karen, hey, get the fuck out of here. We don't know what to do with you. Matt's gonna get a new girlfriend, and then Foggy, they're like, haha, you're dead, bozo. So yeah, those are my thoughts. If you want to know my full extent, or my full thoughts, just check out that previous stream, which will be linked down below. But right now we're gonna be talking about episode 3 and 4.
Off.
Yeah. I still feel the same way, but I'm just less. I didn't get it out, I finally got it out on that stream, and I think I've mellowed out. That's just me in general. It's just I'll pop off, and then I'll be like, I didn't have to go that crazy.
Me, I'm just trying to be civil about the whole thing.
No.
I won't lie.
No. Well, yes, sometimes you do, and then sometimes you're like, how can I get more of a reaction out of Jack? And you goat me into shit, and I fall right for it because I know what you're doing. I always know what you're doing, but I can't help myself. It's just something you piss me off. You know what buttons to push.
And we can start with that segue in episode 3.
Yeah.
Episode 3 was pretty much.
You take it away?
just a legal drama. It was just a legal drama episode. That's pretty much what it is, which makes sense for, Matt is a lawyer by day and he was supposedly a vigilante by night, but he ain't doing that much. So the White Tiger trial. I'm going to be honest. I'm not really an exact fan of how this episode was handled. Writing wise, because it kind of makes me realize what's the point. Like this episode is very simple. Very simple. There's not much to unpack. Where we come back from, we find out that Matt did not kill those police officers, even though it looked and sounded like he did. He did not kill them. He found the star witness. He found the star witness, only for the star witness to just cave at the last second because he's so scared. And I'm like, what was the point of hyping that up? And then one decision I actually don't really agree with, but I see why they did it, because of what happened in the next episode, was they just decided to, we won't get there yet, but the ending, we got to talk about the ending. But
to me, like the whole, I mean, that's kind of what a TV show is. What I'm about to say, that's stupid. Let me try to rephrase that. I feel like the main takeaway from this whole episode is, hey, cops are dressing up like the Punisher, and one of them shot White Tiger. Like this whole courtroom drama and stuff is to just end with White Tiger dying. And they even mention in the show, it's never really shown, but that the amulet is magic, and he was wearing it again, and he gets shot in the head. So I guess that magic amulet it really doesn't do shit. Like they go at it and say, they never show it, but they say the amulet is magic, which is in keeping with the comics. Magic amulet could have put a protection guard. Like, what is it? Like, if it just enhances strength and stuff, I guess it's just kind of like.
Apparently, that is all it's supposed to do. I'm assuming because.
So it doesn't heighten his senses. It doesn't make him jump super high or whatever. Like they kept it so vague.
I legit thought that it did heighten his senses, and I have no flipping idea, because I was also stuck at a loss with he got shot just as soon as he turned around. I'm like, so he doesn't have the senses of a tiger or anything like that,
right?
What are we doing here? Like, come on.
Well,
I know he doesn't have spider senses, but still,
dude. Right now we are pissing off the two White Tiger fans. They're in the comments right now being like, what the fuck? White Tiger is.
We didn't kill him off.
Listen, I only know. I only know White Tiger from the Drake Bell Spider-Man show.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Ultimate Spider-Man. That's what it was.
It was a Gwail in that one.
So
I guess it's a legacy title thing.
So the idea, I'm guessing, because I am the same. I only know White Tiger from that show. I'm assuming that the niece we see in the episode 4, which we're getting ahead of ourselves, is supposed to probably take up the mantle of White Tiger.
Oh yeah.
After the fact.
Because they literally showed the amulet, they pause on it with the camera. They take a look at it. It's gonna come back pretty soon. I'm like, hopefully it does better than fucking her dad or fucking uncle. Jesus. But yeah.
So I'm looking up the powers of White Tiger. And so it says the White Tiger's amulet grants enhanced strength, class 10, speed, stamina, coordination, agility, durability, endurance, and mastery of martial arts. And under extreme conditions, it can project energies of concussive force. And he got gunned down the moment he turned his head.
I knew he was just that's the thing about this fucking show is it's very much so Matt is not Daredevil anymore, but he's a lawyer to a masked vigilante. So when he's talking to him, it's you can't just go out there and do this and that. It's but I feel a sense of justice and I feel a sense of urgency to do so. And it's oh my God, that's exactly how Matt feels. It just, it feels so much like that. It's not subtle at all. It's get it? It's almost like Matt's talking to himself. It's oh my God, can you beat me over the head with it even more? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's the thing about the episode I wasn't a big fan on. They're really trying to ham fist this whole thing of he's trying to be good, but everything is forcing him not to get out of retirement type of deal. Like they're really ham-fisting that, and I'm on like I hope by episode 5 we're done with it because I'm kind of over it now. I'll be honest.
Mhm.
I'm kind of over it. Like let's just put on the fucking suit, go bash some bad guy's skull.
Well,
We came to watch Daredevil.
I don't mind there not being Daredevil because we've had a lot of not Daredevil, but by that I mean like Matt's still dressed up as like his proto suit or whatever to at least get that little Daredevil in. And this one, it seems like they're more focusing on the lawyer angle, which is fine, but it's not even like a good courtroom drama. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's not tense.
It was I've seen some courtroom dramas, and this one
also
was very basic.
Hold on. You know what? Maybe I am mad about this. I thought I was just lukewarm on it, but now actually thinking back at the episode, I'm like, actually, this did kind of piss me off. So Matt and I believe the end of episode 2, mid episode 2 was like, all right, we can't tell the jury that the guy is White Tiger, right? Like Matt says that he pushes for it, and then for him to just because of his star witness not testimonying the way he wants to be testimonied, or I'm not saying that word correctly, but whatever.
Testified.
Yeah, they're not. He didn't testify the way Matt thought he was because he probably felt threatened by the police. In fact, not even probably, he definitely was. And then for Matt to just be like, "Oh, I'll pull up the white tie," like mistrial immediately, mistrial. But like the judge is like, well, it is a superhero show.
It would be. See, the thing is, okay, so I won't. So that's the one thing I will say that I'm not. I see. I was annoyed from a writing standpoint in the sense of like, because I'm not gonna lie, the moment he revealed that he was White Tiger, I was like, that character's gonna die.
Yeah,
that was his death flag.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But from a legal perspective, because I've seen a couple of legal dramas, I'm not mad that Matt did it because logically speaking, that was his only choice.
Right.
He had no other option because, like you said, mistrial. If there was a mistrial, that would have been a W for Matt. His witness would have got off.
Yeah.
If it was a mistrial. So literally, him doing that was literally that was actually Matt's last chance to save this man's life.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't hate that part. It makes some sense. I just don't like the fact that this character's gonna die, and like at the end of it, because I'm thinking, all right, let's have this dude just run away, leave town. No, he decides to put the freaking mask back on and go out that night. I'm like, bro, you pissed off a bunch of cops, and they know who you are now. When you put on that mask, they're gonna be gunning for you, literally. Puts it on anyways and does it. I'm like, that was so stupid.
Yeah, but they kind of paint it as like, well, he has a sense of justice, so he had to go out. It's like, wait a little while, at least.
Yeah, wait till the dust settles. Like self-preservation, man. Come on.
It's like, I get what they're going for, but the character's action is still dumb. Like, it doesn't change the fact that it was dumb. Like, that's very noble of him. It's still dumb.
And the obvious elephant in the room, that was Punisher. That was not Punisher. We all know, like any decent comic book fan knows that was not Punisher.
Well, because they tease it in the entire show so far as like, the cops have Punisher tattoos and stuff like that. So like immediately when it happened, it's like, well, that's not him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Punisher doesn't usually go after superheroes / vigilantes anyways. Like you only be going after villains and criminals and street level.
Yeah, not for the most part, unless if like Spider-Man or Daredevil is like, hey, I've decided now that you're morally wrong. It's like, brother, I've been doing this for like a while now. Now you decide it's a bad idea. There's literally a comic book. I believe it's like Punisher at War or something like that. I'll show it on screen right now. It's pretty good. Because it doesn't treat it doesn't give him a Batman treatment where it's just like, yeah, Punisher could take down the entire Avengers. Like Punisher's like, one of them is a fucking god. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Basically, like it's kind of like what I described. It's like Spider-Man is just like, after Punisher recently kills off I forget who he killed off, but just a regular mobster thing. Spider-Man's like, hey guys, like, this is kind of wrong, right? Like, and Tony Stark is just like, like, it is what it is. And Captain America's like, listen, like, I don't agree either, but like, it's Frank. What are we gonna do? And Spider-Man's like, we have fucking powers. Like, what is there like not to like? Thor's literally a god. Thor, go find him and stop him. And then Thor's like, well, fine. So Thor goes over. I don't want to do a whole recap thing, but like, just some of the cool moments. Thor goes over and he teleports Punisher, and he has a beer with him. It's such a sick moment because you never see like Thor and Punisher interact, because why would they? One's a street level thing, one's a either intergalactic or magical, character. Their worlds don't cross, but then like Punisher explains his kind of backstory, and then Thor's like, I appreciate a warrior's, story. You are a warrior, Frank Castle. You would be in Valhalla and stuff like that.
See, the thing I don't understand is why the fuck they thought I don't know why the fuck they thought it was a good idea to send Thor over there, because Thor kills too. Let's keep it a buck.
Like, a lot of the MCU kills, if we're being, MCU definitely, they murder. They have no fucking problem with murder, except for Spider-Man. But like in the Marvel universe, for the most part, I mean, it's like a half and half. The more consistently, like the Justice League is like, we straight up do not murder. Whereas like Marvel is just like, like if Captain America has to like kill someone,
he's a soldier.
Yeah.
I mean, you're telling a soldier not to kill? That's ridiculous.
There's
he's a soldier.
Either it's Daredevil. Daredevil doesn't kill unless if it's by accident, because he's got like Catholic guilt or whatever, and that's where him and Punisher are staunchly against each other. Obviously, Spider-Man, great power, great responsibility. He doesn't kill. Again, unless if it's accidental.
On purpose. There have been
but
times.
Like X-Men, like Wolverine kills. Absolutely, he kills. He murders all the time. Like Marvel is very loosey-goosey unless the character's whole thing is like, I will not kill kind of thing. Unless they objectively state, like, what is Black Widow doing? Just shooting stun darts? Maybe what she saw in the Avengers, but if she's doing like a covert mission, I mean,
yeah, they're dead.
She's probably killing. Yeah. But basically, like, Punisher sets a trap for everyone, and it's literally just for him to escape, essentially. Because he's like, I know I'm not taking out any of these motherfuckers. Like, Spider-Man, if he really put an inch of effort, could, like, snap my fucking neck. Now, if it was written by Garth Ennis, which is, like, the Punisher kills the Marvel Universe and stuff like that, he just turns Punisher into an overpowered Batman-type character. Which, in a self-contained story, can be fun. Is it unrealistic as shit? Absolutely. Punisher kills Wolverine.
Yes.
You literally cannot kill Wolverine. It's nigh impossible. Like, the man...
Especially when he has adamantium. What the hell?
The man can regrow from a single cell. Like, so according to... It really depends on the writer, but, like, Wolverine in continuity has regrown from a single cell. So, like, but I forgot what we were talking... I just totally went on a fucking tangent, but
so we're going
that story's pretty
whole,
dope,
like,
and that run by Greg Rucka is pretty dope, so check it out.
Basically, we're saying that first off, the guy that shot White Tiger was obviously
right.
Not
yes.
So
yeah. Which is pretty much confirmed in the fourth one. I'm trying to think what happens with Fisk in the third episode. I'm trying to think.
So what happens with Fisk is, see, that's the thing. The third episode is very forgettable. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's not a lot. Like, really the only thing that went on was really that trial, I think.
Oh, what happened was, like, at the end when Matt won his case, Fisk was watching the TV and he recorded himself saying that.
Oh, right.
Pretty much stating that he's going to put a stop to vigilantes at all costs.
Yeah. Pretty much tying him into the possible murder of White Tiger, but he's mayor, so fuck it.
I mean, because there's a possibility that could have been one of the cops that are a Daredevil fanboy, or it could have been somebody on Fisk's payroll to enforce the no vigilantes thing. Who knows? Because, like, let's be real. How does it feel when you're in power and your main rival is still on TV showboating his wins and you're in the background? Like, nah, you got to make a statement. You got to make a statement after that.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was very funny because you can see Fisk is pissed when he sees Matt won his case. He is pissed.
Yeah. And it's like no media, nothing. Okay. Like, they could literally run on that in the next episode. It's like, the media is pointing me out as if I have any involvement. I can assure you, I have no involvement. But yeah, I don't know. Like, episode 3 to me is kind of a nothing burger. So apparently, and I will put up articles, screenshots, and all that up here. But so I think the first 4 or 5 episodes are pretty much what they originally were going for with the OG series. They were originally just going to make it a full courtroom drama type of thing. So after this point, this is all like the new shit. Kind of. I don't know exactly where they stopped. Maybe that was just a Twitter thing. I'll put up a disclaimer if that's the case. But so going forward, this is all what they were like, okay, we fixed it now. Here's the new shit. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I'm scared for that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, me too. Like, I'm afraid fucking Miss Marvel's gonna show up and be like, hey, not that Miss Marvel's a bad character, but like, just like, I'm afraid they're gonna
Marvel has no business.
Yeah, that's a bad example. They're definitely not gonna do Spider-Man Sony, even though a Daredevil Spider-Man story or Spider-Man interacting with Punisher would just be peak. But
they could put in Moon Knight. Moon Knight being in this wouldn't be too bad. It actually makes some sense.
Only if it's actually Moon Knight, not what they displayed at the show. Did you watch the show?
I got through half of it.
Bruh, it's not Moon Knight, like, at all. Like, and even the director of that show is like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of directing action scenes. I'm like, why the fuck would you sign on for a superhero show then? Like, if you notice, a lot of the action scenes, it's just Mark going in and out of consciousness while a huge action scene is happening. And also, it's just like, hey, Moon Knight, insane vigilante, literally cuts the face off of one of his enemies. How about we take that character in Tomb Raider? It's like, no, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, yeah, Moon Knight gets Mark gets enchanted with Khonshu and all that shit, and he becomes Moon Knight. But like, after that, he's pretty much a street level character. He's Batman, but actually fucking insane. And they're just like, hey, National Treasure, Moon Knight, what are we thinking? And I'm like, that hasn't been the character since, I don't know, the fucking 80s. So, I don't know. Have you read Jeff Lemire's run? I mean, the only time when they actually were in the comics is when he's in like that mental asylum thing. Like, that was like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, we're going somewhere with like Moon Knight's insane. And then after that, it's like, hey, check out this giant kaiju fight. And it's like, what? Oh, by the way, Ethan Hawke's dead. Wow, that was anticlimactic. That whole show sucks. Like, they're doing a season 2 apparently, and yeah, or they're thinking it. Like, they haven't announced it in the phases and stuff, but it's in like the talks of a Moon Knight season 2. And I'm like,
have you even seen any impact of Moon Knight within the MCU yet?
No, absolutely not.
What the fuck?
They haven't brought up the kaiju's fighting once. They finally, in Captain America, brought up the Eternals thing. I haven't seen the movie, but from YouTube videos and stuff, they've explained.
I have seen the movie.
Oh shit! What did you think of the movie? Side tangent. Time codes and below. We'll talk. Leon's got to talk about Captain America, and then I'll just put in a time code. Hey, Leon's not talking about Captain America anymore. We're back on Daredevil. But so, what did you think? I heard it was like very lukewarm.
Spoilers.
Yeah, we're just gonna spoilers. Not that anyone gives a shit, but yes, spoilers. We're not holding back at all. So again, time codes in below.
Spoilers. Okay, so Anthony Mackie, I believe that's his name, the guy that plays Falcon.
Yeah, now Captain America.
Easily the best part of the movie.
He's the best part.
The best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, he brought a lot of heart to the role. It shows. Honestly, I am happy that he is the new Captain America, and I hope we see more of him.
Hell yeah.
The script, however, the writing for this movie is basic.
Would it not shock
terrible?
Would it shock you if I said they reshot this shit like 4 times?
I would believe you. I would believe you because it feels like they did. It's very basic. It's not like. So you know how the main villain is? We think the main villain is Red Hulk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's actually, spoilers by the way, the leader.
Mm-hmm.
So what the leader did, you know him, right? He's a Hulk villain, right?
Yep.
He pretty much, so Ross pretty much had this dude in the background helping him up build his legacy. In exchange, he would give the leader back his life, but
Mhm.
obviously Ross didn't follow through with that deal.
Mhm.
So did was slowly give Ross gamma radiated pills so he could just Hulk out and turn into the Hulk and start destroying things. What he did, the whole thing is to pretty much manipulate the countries into going into World War III type of deal, because everyone is on Celestial Island. That's where the Eternals things are. That's where you see the hand
Yep.
Eternal movie.
Yep.
Because they found a new resource, and it's adamantium.
Mhm.
So now all the countries are trying to fight to get it. The problem is Ross being the president, he had like a deal so they can all share it. But the leader kind of hijacked it and hired a bunch of assassins using the American payroll to make it look like Ross had set everything up, all just to ruin his legacy. Pretty much, that's the plan. What I don't like, though, is that, so in the trailers how we see, Captain America trying to fight off Red Hulk and everything.
Yeah.
All of that is the final fight.
That's what I fucking figured. That's what I fucking and what I heard. But like, yeah, that's what once I saw that trailer, I was just like, oh, so that's like the last act.
Yes, it fucking was. And
Can
the worst
I
part
ask
about it
this,
is
though?
that,
Can I ask? Does he throw fireballs? Because Red Hulk in the comics has like heat absorption powers where he could like be set ablaze if he's so angry.
So no, but they do
Damn.
hint towards it, because when Ross turns into the Red Hulk, when he's touching like the ground, you can see it like smoldering. But that's the most we get of
That's
that.
about it. Oh, okay.
He doesn't throw any fireballs.
I thought they would do away with that for sure.
But the worst part about that being the final fight, that is the only time we see Red Hulk. So that final fight, that final end fight, is literally the first and last time we see Red Hulk in the entire movie. There's one scene within the movie where they're all at sea at Celestial Island, and they're about to like go to war and shit. And the leader is trying to like coax Ross into transforming to ruin his legacy. And he comes close, but Captain America and the new Falcon managed to stop all the missiles and stop the war, so he didn't transform. So, and I thought that was a big disservice. I was like, why do they, if they hyped up Red Hulk in the trailers everywhere, and we only see him once, and it's in the ending part of the movie, like the last act. I was like, why did they do that? Why did they do that?
Well, I'll tell you why. They wanted people to show up, and they still didn't.
Also, the plot for the movie, like I know what I told you, like it's being like just the leader trying to destroy Ross's reputation. It's also just a reworked Winter Soldier,
That's
right? Why? Because did you see the series Falcon and Winter Soldier series?
Yeah, I did.
So the black guy who was actually the first Captain America, right?
Yeah,
he's in the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
But the plot is that he was on his phone and light flashed, which hypnotized him, and he started to try to kill them. He started to kill Ross, and now he's in prison. Does that sound familiar to you?
Oops.
They literally ripped Winter Soldier right off of that the plot line and just reused it. And I was just like, why did they fucking do that? Why?
Damn, that's disappointing. I mean, from seeing the trailers, I was just like, this is just gonna be a mid-tier Marvel movie. I'm not even gonna attempt. And I think that's the ultimate downfall of Marvel. It's just people are like, I don't. It's not important. I don't want to look at it. It
sucks because again, Mackie brought, like, you could tell he brought it. Like, I will say this: if you could find the movie on streaming or anything like that, I would definitely give that movie a shot.
Once it comes out on
just to
Disney
see him.
Plus, I'll definitely peep it. But like, it just
feels like just to see him. But everything else,
also,
like he deserves a better script. He deserves a better script.
I did see the post-credit scene, and it's just like a guy being like, "Oh, something's coming." And it's like, great. Thanks.
That was the leader. That was the leader.
Yeah.
And that was it. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to mean.
It just means, hey,
all we get is
Secret Wars is coming up. Hell yeah. And then like that's what I mean about these post credits. Like, you remember when the post credit scenes were like, oh, Thanos is coming, and Thanos came. Thanos came.
Yeah.
But Like
Get him up.
now, like, you know, even in the Marvels, which I still haven't seen, like they show Beast, and there has been no payoff for that whatsoever. Like, we have mentions of now Animantium, but we've had like inklings of like X-Men stuff. Like in Miss Marvel, they look at the camera and go, "Hey, Miss Marvel, you might have a mutation," and it's like, okay. And then in the comics, they were just like, "Hey, you know how Miss Marvel has never been a mutant? Well, guess what? Now she's a mutant." And it's like, I get the movies influencing the comic books, but like, you know, I listen. I'm not even a huge Miss Marvel fan.
They need to stop that.
And then after, or no. I think it was before or after. I think before she became a mutant in a Spider-Man comic, which don't even get me on Amazing Spider. We're not going to get into it. That'll be a whole podcast on itself because the Zeb Wells run is awful, and this current run doesn't look good as well. I refuse to read it. I refuse to buy it. If you don't like something, don't buy it, and they'll learn their fucking lesson. Maybe.
Yeah.
But Miss Marvel died, and then she came back as a mutant after like barely 6 months. It's like, comic books, baby, they suck ass. Sometimes, at least Amazing Spider-Man does for, I don't know, like a decade now. It's sucked.
Well, just to wrap up, like Captain America movie. Again, it's worth it to see Mackie just do what he does, and the best part about it, like, his character is doing all that cool shit, and he doesn't have any superhero. He's not using the super soldier serum at all.
Yeah,
which I thought was pretty cool, and I like that nuance with the character. So for that, he's good. Excellent role. He's doing justice. Keep him in there. The script needs to be better.
Mm-hmm.
And the villain was just, they should have used Red Hulk more. If they had used Red Hulk more, the movie could have been better. But the fact that they just used all that for the last act was just, I was like, why? Why did they do that? But yeah, that wraps it up. I would give it like 5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's like the average rating of Marvel movies nowadays for me. Any Marvel product is like, it's a 5. Like, it doesn't do anything boundary pushing. Like the last, well, now I'm trying to think of all the Marvel movies that have come out. Shang-Chi was good.
Yes, that one was good.
Wakanda Forever
Eternals
was pretty good. I didn't like Eternals.
Wakanda Forever. So I didn't like Eternals either. I also thought that shit was boring. Wakanda Forever, I'm iffy on. I'm iffy on. Like, I like the idea and I like the concept. The only problem is that for me personally, they didn't convince me that Shuri deserved the herb.
It was
to
very
become Black
much
Panther, like
handed to her like the last couple moments of the movie.
Yeah, and the character has shown, in my opinion, the character didn't show that much growth for me to find it believable. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
We lost T'Challa, aka Chadwick Boseman, too soon.
But now we're gonna get a new one, possibly. I think they should still wait. I think they should wait like at least another 5 years.
So I heard that this new one that they're getting is actually might be for like an alternate universe one. So not like the main line that we're following, but like Black Panther from a different universe. Which
because in Wakanda
I'm
Forever,
stoked. I want to see that.
Yeah, because in Wakanda Forever, it ends with like his kid, I think, right? And it's like, we named him T'Challa too. Not T'Challa number 2, but it's like we also named him T'Challa. You will be T'Challa number 2. But yeah, I think they should wait for a main line. Honestly, I think Ryan Gosling would be an excellent choice. Have you seen those edits of like introducing the new Black Panther, and it's just Ryan Gosling?
Nah, who is that?
Ryan Gosling is Ken from Barbie. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Blade Runner 2049.
As the new Black Panther? Yeah, no, that's a meme. That's a fuck.
No, yeah, that's what it's. Yeah, it's a meme. It's just like, it's a white guy. Yay! Yeah.
Back to Daredevil.
Yeah, back to Daredevil. So episode 3. Fine, I guess.
Mid, forgettable. Yeah. There's not like, it's only been a week, and I can't really tell you any good scenes about that whole episode.
Which is
episode 4, however. We got some stuff to talk about.
We do. Foggy is finally brought back up in a great scene, but I feel like we're jumping the gun.
Hmm.
So we get an inkling. I think it's in the beginning or is it the end of Muse, which is that the like serial killer looking dude who's like kidnapping
It was
people
both.
is both. Okay,
It was
yeah.
both.
Um,
Yeah.
in the comics, he's like technically an inhuman and magic. He's like rarely showed up. Um, like he was literally just there for like a storyline or two. They probably won't make him magic if I'm guessing this, or even bring up that he's an inhuman. I think they're just gonna play up. Oh, he's using people's real blood to paint stuff. So, which I'm making it sound. It depends. Like we haven't seen enough of it for me to just be like, oh, this is like too edgy and kind of lame. But they did build it up a little bit with him talking to that therapist or whatever, like, oh yeah, call me anytime, and then he's like, okay. So yeah, I mean, we just have to wait and see. I can't judge it yet because like we've barely seen anything, but I feel like
Yeah,
that'd be
there
good
was
for
nothing much.
Daredevil.
There wasn't much to go on with that villain, but I mean, I'm curious to see where it goes. But again, like you said, it's nothing burger with him so far. So
I think if besides
Uh,
Kingpin obviously being the main villain, he's like the B plot villain. Either it'll just be like a separate arc in the show with him just dealing with Muse, or Fisk might find him and be like, I think we could probably work together. And then maybe it'll be a whole thing. It's like, oh, well, Wilson Fisk said he's not going to deal with vigilantes, but here he is working with a mass psychopath. So, I don't know. But besides
um,
that, what else happens in this episode? All I'm thinking about is
basically,
Punisher stuff, but I don't want to blow my
get,
load too quick.
but basically we get Matt getting pretty much all of White Tiger stuff in the amulet, and we meet his niece finally, which, let's be real, that's going to be the new White Tiger. I imagine we're going to see her show up
Yeah.
towards like the end of the dang movie.
Mhm.
Do you know there are 8 episodes in this season? It's like supposed to be 8 episodes, right?
Thought it was longer, but let me look it up. Like, I thought
Maybe
the original plan was
episodes,
like 16 episodes. I heard that, but I could be way off my rockers. Hold on, looking it up now.
because
Daredevil
if it's
again.
8 episodes, I'm wondering how they're going to be able to squeeze in Fisk and Muse in the next 4 episodes. You got to pick a struggle, my guy. They really got to pick a struggle.
How many episodes? 9.
So one more than I thought, but still, the problem remains. How are you going to fit them both in there?
This is what they're doing. So, according to... let me see the news publication here. The Hindustan Times, I'll link them down below. It's going to be 9 episodes, season 1. However, since the plot has been divided into 2 halves, we will have to wait for season 2's upcoming episodes. So, basically, it's going to be like... I guess it's going to be like a cliffhanger type of season, and then once season 2 is done, which kind of makes sense because right after episode 1, it's like we're working on season 2 right now, so we'll probably get season 2 soon. But yeah, they're not going to wrap any of this shit up. This is all set up, I think, because we're already on episode 4, and it's like what you're saying, we've introduced so much already. It's like, where the fuck do we go from here?
So we see that next we see Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
We see Fisk just trying to be the mayor and stuff like that, which I think was a very interesting. I like the dichotomy of we went from Matt to being Fisk to seeing what Fisk's daily life is like now.
Yeah.
Slight tangent though. I did not care for Matt's section with that that homeless guy. Like, I get it's supposed to be a social commentary type of thing, but I'm like, no, just no. Especially when he's like, could I have been a Skrull? I'm like, wow, what a non-ham-fisted way to
to be like, hey, like, MCU, and it's like, and then I clapped. Like, oh my god,
like what?
Yeah. That felt very shoehorned in, and like, I'm fine, with the messaging and all that, but like, it don't really serve the plot because it's not even something like Fisk's men have been like looking for me, or like the Punisher has been like is just like kind of a side story, and it was just kind of like, well, what? Like there really isn't like any huge plot stuff that goes on in this episode from my memory. It's just kind of almost feels like a filler episode. The Punisher moment is cool.
I wouldn't say filler.
Okay.
I wouldn't say filler. I feel like this was more of a character development episode.
Yeah.
Because we got glimpses into Fisk's and his Vanessa's marriage counseling and everything like that. We got a glimpse into that, which I thought was hilarious when she was like, "Well, what happened to Adam?" He's like, "I talked to him."
Mm-hmm. He's torturing him,
and we had a discussion. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I see, that's what I like, because the ending of this episode, while the Punisher stuff was the best, I gotta say the second best was seeing both Matt and Fisk slowly turn back into themselves.
Yeah, into their
like
old
Matt
ways.
is slowly becoming Daredevil, and Fisk is just becoming Kingpin, because him just eating there while Adam is begging to be let out. I'm just like, yeah, no, they're coming back.
Yeah, that was good.
They're coming back.
That was good. Yeah, all right, fuck it. Let's talk about Punisher. It's like the best part of the fucking show. Literally, like in my opinion, like the best part of the show. So basically, Matt. I forgot. Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. One bullshit moment, actually. So Matt's standing on the street corner where White Tiger was murked, right? And he like he bumps this like little like liquor bottle right down the street, and it ends up in the sewer, and that's where he finds out. What logic is that? It's like, okay, I will knock over this tiny little glass bottle, and hopefully it will lead me to the bullet. Like, what? What the fuck is the logic?
So I understand. Okay, I understand what they were trying to do. Let me say that. I understand what they were trying to do.
Maybe I misinterpreted.
What happened was Matt was trying to figure out what happened to White Tiger, and they all said that there was no bullet casing. Nobody could find it.
Right.
Matt's there trying to investigate the scene. There was like a motorcycle that passed by, and they had a cap dropped. Matt heard the cap drop and then roll down, which kind of gave him the idea of, let me knock this liquor bottle. Let me lock this liquor bottle down, and like this could potentially, help me figure out where the bullet was, because maybe the bullet just rolled off somewhere because we're down a decline. That's what we're trying to do. The problem is, realistically, that wouldn't happen, because here's the thing: in order for that to work, Matt would have to know exactly where the gun fired and discharged. So that was lucky.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like,
what if he knocked the bottle the fucking other way around a little too hard, and then it just doesn't go downhill? Then what? Like, what are his options then?
Or what if it completely passed by the sewer and maybe ended up in a different sewer? Like, again, it's one of those things where I see what they were trying to do, but you'd have to have a suspension of disbelief to buy that.
Matt is just always very lucky.
Like I know mysteries. I've read them. Wrote one. Haha, plug. But no, that does not work.
Yeah. So that he tracks that down to Frank's place. Frank almost stabs him.
How did he even find Frank's place?
Did he
like,
smell
are they
the
like
bullet
neighbors
or some shit? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know, because I'm like, are they neighbors now? Because it seems like Matt
they're definitely
always
not
knew where Frank was.
Maybe that's the implication, but
it seems like
I'm
Matt
sure someone in the
always
comments
knew
will be
where
like,
Frank was.
"Well, clearly it's," and it's like, okay.
Doesn't matter what it's like. We're the audience here. If we can't understand how Matt's able to do certain things, you're gonna lose us.
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to forgive it though, because the scene that came after
was peak, really good.
So,
yeah. So
you can go on and describe the scene, Arthur.
Yeah. So basically, what happens in the scene is Matt's there, and she's like, "Hey, did you do this?" And then Punisher's like, "What? You think I'll fucking waste my time with that shit?" He's like, "All right, thanks, Punisher, bye." And then Punisher is just like, "So you just get to walk in here and pretend like we don't have something, and then Matt's like, what do you mean? And they start making out on the floor. No, basically it's another Punisher and Matt have a moral discussion about like their ideology. But it is a good one. It's basically Punisher like, why would I waste my time with like your stupid superhero stuff? Like, I got my own shit I'm dealing with. And then like Matt's like, what? Just like gutting down people? And he's like, you're goddamn right. My favorite part, or not like all of it's my favorite part, but like when Matt's trying to like poke at him, he's like, what? So you can act like a goddamn victim? And then Frank snaps and he's just like,
yeah.
Like, I don't use that fucking word. And then Matt's like, all right there. And then I love how he goats him. He's like, when he's like, say his name, Matt. And then Matt's like, don't you fight. He's like, say his name. Say his fucking name. Matt's like, stop. And then like,
goddamn coward, say his name.
Yeah. And he goats him into punching her. He's like, sorry, no, I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. And then Frank's like, what do you have to fucking apologize for? This is fucking you. And Matt's like, oh,
like, this is the first honest thing you did here.
Yeah. I wanted Daredevil out right now. And Punisher's like, fucking do it, pussy. But my favorite moment, which I texted you, was in those quiet moments, like, does he talk to you? Matt's like very vulnerable right now, and like John Berthel does a good job. This Punisher, just like in the Netflix shows, which like I'm not a huge fan of. I do like John Berthel's Punisher portrayal, but like as far as plotting and stuff goes, it feels like much more like a CIA espionage type show. And like, I thought we were watching Punisher here, but
that was a huge problem with season 2,
but especially season 2.
Aggressive.
Yeah. But like when he like, so they definitely play up like Frank being a veteran and stuff like that. So he's like doing the little like shell shock whispers and stuff like that. And he's like, you know what? I hear my son too. And you know what he says? He says, get him, daddy. Get them all. And I'm like, oh god, that's such a sick moment. It's just like Frank's like, I text you, I'm like, that's the most punishery thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. It's just like Frank's whole crusade is just like, he legitimately thinks his family's being like, get them all till they're all fucking dead. And it's like, I don't think they would actually want that, but that's Frank's like moral compass. That's what he like uses to be like, this is what they would want. It's his excuse essentially, and it's just like, that's so perfect. And the acting in that whole sequence is top notch, very good.
Yeah, phenomenal acting. Loved it. I liked it so much that when the episode finished, I actually rewatched the whole scene, the whole interaction.
Yes, I did the same thing. And then I watched the rooftop scene and the graveyard scene. And the Netflix one. I think because I'm a Netflix cuck, I guess, but like the rooftop scene is so good. It's just the dialogue feels a lot more natural and stuff. What I will say is I kind of hated the camera work in the Disney one because it was doing too much. It was cutting way too much. Whereas like it didn't know how to stay still. Whereas like the Netflix one is just like, it knows exactly what this is. This is a performance piece. We're going to keep the camera very stationary. Don't do anything too crazy. And it just lets like the acting breathe. Whereas the Disney scene is very much like cut, like every 5 seconds. But that's just a nitpicky, like whatever thing. But yeah, that rooftop scene is so good where they're just yelling their morals at each other, yelling their ideology is just like, when I hit them, they stay down. It's like, oh, that's such a good moment. And just John Berthel just chewing the scenery. He's like, huh, you feel that? And he's got a gun to his head. And it's like, when Matt goes on his religious thing, he's like, I believe in redemption. And he's like, oh, what, we fucking talking about Santa Claus now? I'm like, God, that's such a punishery fucking thing to say. Like, God, it's so good. Honestly, the best Netflix Punisher moments is always in Daredevil stuff. It's never actually in Punisher stuff, besides scenes every once in a while. But like, that scene is good. And then the graveyard scene, which is Daredevil's finally kind of caught up to him in season 2, and he just goes on about the story about how when he came back home, he walked in on his daughter in her classroom and everyone's crying around them. The teacher's filming it, and then they get back home and he's tired. He's just exhausted. He just wants to go to bed. And then his daughter's like, "Hey, read me this book. Read me this book." He's like, I can't right now. And then that's when his family gets murdered, and he's like, he's never been able to finish that story. And I'm like, God, it's literally 6 minutes of John Berthel acting his ass off. Like, Matt says one word, and that's yeah. Like, that's the only dialogue scene.
Well, yeah, the whole point is we're just supposed to take it. We're just supposed to take it all in.
And again,
take it all
simple editing and simple camera shots. It's cutting to Matt's reaction and just John Berthel just like eating the scenery up. Like he is such a fantastic. Like, I'm such a huge fan of John Berthel. But yeah, I mean, those two are peak, and they're still my favorite. But I will say this was also a very good Punisher and Daredevil scene. I love, because Frank is very much like no nonsense. He's like, stop pussyfooting around how you're actually feeling. Just say his fucking name, and you want to kill this guy. And Matt goes, Bullseye got life. And then Punisher goes, did Foggy get life? I'm like, God damn!
Oh my God.
So good. But yeah, what did you think, Leon, after I talked for like 10 fucking minutes?
The interactions, obviously, this was masterclass. I'm not gonna lie. Like, was it like the best one so far? I'm not even gonna lie. This is even slightly better than the whole diner scene between Matt and Fisk. It was just that good to me.
Oh yeah, by a million miles.
No bullshit, no nonsense. Like, it's one of those things where I feel like we're back and like we never. This is like one of the few moments I was trying to tell you before when we were talking about the first two episodes, where the writing is there for some of these scenes. Like, it shows that we're back. We never left. There's these moments that you get the vibe that, yeah, we never left. We're still here.
Yeah. And John Berthel, like, there was the OG script had him in it, and he was like, yeah, I don't think I want to sign on to this. So the fact that he then came on to this says something. Like, whatever that previous show was, like, it was probably ass. If John Berthel even was like, yeah, I'm not getting that Disney money, there's no fucking way.
Well, because the dude actually respects the character.
Yeah.
The moment he got casted, he went to a comic book store, which, actors, please, if you are playing an iconic role, especially like a superhero role, do the research. Don't just refuse the research and do your own interpretation. No, do the flipping research, please.
Well, I think adaptations are things, and like sometimes a character like, for example, Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Like, Wolverine in the comics is like a little fucking midget with claws, right? And Hugh Jackman is a buff, very attractive Australian man. But like, it's more so what I have problem with, like, the writers when they don't care about the source material, because there's like a whole compilation on YouTube. You can look it up for like the current Marvel stuff. And it's like all the behind the scenes stuff. It's like, yeah, I didn't really read the comics. Yeah, I didn't really read the comics. And that's where it really fucks up. Like, I think an actor can pretty much adapt to whatever. Is it better that they seek out the source material? Absolutely. But, if an actor's a good actor, it's, I don't think Joaquin read up on the Joker. I think he just kind of did his own thing with it. But where was it going? Yeah, like, there's literally so many behind the scenes of what were some of the shows? I don't even remember. I'll have to link it down below. But yeah, like, it's like the recent, did you hear about the God of War TV show news? Where the guy was just like, yeah, I tried playing the new God of War. Yeah. And it was like, I tried playing the new God of War games. I'm not a video gamer. And it's like, brother, you're writing the fucking show and directing it. What are you talking about? You should at least it's a video game based thing.
No, bro.
Peter said something. I'm gonna expose Peter real quick. I don't remember exactly what he said. He texted me and he was just like, well, it's kind of like, Last of Us. I'm like, yeah, but Neil Druckmann, the director of the video game, was part of the production, is the difference. So he could, do creative input, say, oh, let's do this instead, because, he worked on the original game. As far as I know, no one from the original game is on this God of War thing. And it's like, if you don't have a fundamental understanding of what you're adapting, then what the fuck are we doing? I feel like with superheroes it's different, but with video games, I feel like you should have a very base understanding of what the fuck is going on. You know, like I don't think.
Even if that's the case,
yeah.
Even if that's the case where he's not much of a gamer, my motherfucker, YouTube is a thing. Watch a walkthrough.
He probably
People
did.
Cut out the gameplay, tell you the story.
That's probably what he's gonna do. Yeah, honestly.
Okay, if he can do that, then fine. But if he refused to even do that, then I'm like, what are we doing here? Now you literally have no excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, bruh.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. Hollywood is gonna Hollywood, you know. But yeah, I mean, like what you were saying, Punisher.
Yes,
John Bernthal really respects the character. And I'm even more hyped now for that Punisher one-off, the Punisher special thing. I can't like. I hope John Bernthal is just like, because he has a producer credit on it, and he apparently on this Daredevil show he even like improvised some scenes and stuff like that, which is probably why this scene feels so different from the rest of the show so far. Is like it feels very organic, it feels very natural instead of the show feeling a little staged, a little stagnant. But you know, so yeah, I'm even more hyped for that fucking one-off thing now. Like
I feel like this scene also kind of set up for for what that one-off could be, because there's a good chance that one-off could just be Frank trying to find who his copycat is and gun them down.
Yeah, that could be it. It's funny because like in the Netflix show it'll be like, man, this Punisher isn't really feeling like Punisher. And then one of my favorite moments is always at the end of each of the Punisher Netflix seasons is like one of them was like one of the dudes that betrayed, or maybe it was Jigsaw, I don't remember, I haven't seen season 1 or season 2 in a while, but at the end of season 1 he starts to explain his motives and then Frank just shoots him right there. I'm like, that's the most
season 2.
That is like that's Punisher.
Punisher.
Finally he arrived, thank God. It's a Punisher show. Punisher has shown up at the very end. And then the very last, maybe this one was season 1, where he's at that warehouse and he's got the skull on and he just starts gunning people down, and it like cuts right when the action's about to start. I'm like, oh fuck, Punisher showed up. Too bad the show's over.
That was also the end of season 2. The end of season 1, we see like, the very end of it was just we see Frank is in a he's in like a group meeting, you know, like for veterans. Not which we spoke about this years ago in our old podcast, and we said that for the first 2 seasons of Punisher, so all of season 1 of Punisher was beautiful except for the last part. Majority of season 2 of Punisher was garbage except for the last part.
Yeah.
So quite literally, if you take all of season 1 but take the last part of season 2 where he just sets up the gang members and gun them down.
Then it's a pretty good Punisher show.
Season 1.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because I don't know.
Because they pulled a Joel and Ellie in season 2. I'm like, why is he doing with this girl?
No.
It just annoyed me.
See, the reason why I didn't like the girl is because first off, this is fucking Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Why did they stop him from killing? Mm-hmm. Why did you stop the Punisher from punishing? Mm-hmm. Why?
It's in the name, god damn it.
Like I remember there was this one scene where they found this video photographer or whatever, and they found out that he was also a pedo, and that he actually was like, you know, sending pictures of kids.
Yes.
Like Frank was ready to go to town. He was like, he's a kid, go outside, right? And they were like, no, maybe there's another way. So they instead they burn his entire place down and punish, and like Frank just walks off. I'm like, no. Now
I remember my true hatred for season 2. God damn. Oh my god.
Not my Frank Castle.
Because literally there's the same exact scene in Daredevil season 2 where he's buying police radio from a pawn shop. He's about to leave, and then the guy's like, wait, I got some more stuff for you. I got some movies here. Some of them are, a little risque. And then John Bernthal, he takes the open sign, flips it to close, and the guy's like, yeah, you like that, huh? Time to make a purchase. And then he just grabs a bat from from one of the things. He's like, wait a minute, guy, wait a minute. Obviously kills a pedophile. Good. Whereas like season 2 is kind of saying, oh, don't kill him, but burn down his place. It's like, I'm sorry, are you trying to make me feel sympathetic for a pedophile right now? Because really don't feel any.
Yeah, they were trying to make him more like a little bit more like Batman type of deal, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no,
Punisher
kills.
isn't
Let him kill.
Batman. That's the
Like,
thing.
let him kill.
Yeah. Like that would be maybe a good storyline for like if Batman accidentally killed someone and then like one of the Robins is just like, Bruce, like, listen, you made a mistake, time to get back in the game. You know, like that's fine. But Punisher, his whole thing is like, I do not compromise, I kill. Now, Punisher can every once in a while be like, no, even like in the comics, like Punisher has never taken a seat back. It's like, you know what? Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Punisher is always just like, what I do is what I do. That's it. Like, this is my ride or die. Whereas, like, and I get it's hard writing that from like a writer's perspective, but if that's the case, and you feel like you can't just have Frank be one note, even though Frank is very much a one note character, have him be Jaws. What I mean by that is like, plenty of comic books have been like the detectives are kind of the main characters, and then Punisher shows up every once in a while, and we get a cool Punisher scene. Like that's fine, but like having Punisher have this like blonde girl who's really fucking annoying and gets herself in trouble all the time, like I'm just like, God, it's so annoying. I can't even formulate a sentence. It's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, no, they were really trying to hype up the Last of Us type of nonsense with that, and I wasn't rocking with it. Not for Punisher. Punisher, no, he guns people down and he like moves on. He's a force of nature. He don't got like his character is already developed. He's a static character.
Yeah.
He goes in, you're a criminal, you die, moves on. That's it. That's all it needs to be. Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't the best movie ever, but Frank is Frank in this movie. You ever see Punisher Warzone?
Yes.
Listen.
Yes, I've seen that.
Not a fantastic movie. Perfection on the Punisher standpoint. Perfection. What's his name? Not Steven. What's his name?
The dude who played Punisher?
Yeah. Steven. I keep thinking Seagal, but it's definitely not Steven Seagal.
Ray Stevenson.
Yep. So good. Like that scene where some dude's like strapped to a chair at a dinner table, and then someone's talking to Frank, and then like he just turns around and just blows the guy's face off, and it's like, Frank, what the fuck? I'm like, that is so fucking Punisher. I can't. I'm like, it
was a little annoying with that movie though, that the main plot is that Punisher accidentally killed an undercover FBI agent.
Yeah.
That was I'm not gonna lie, that's where the writing did take a freaking nosedive. I'm not even gonna lie.
For sure.
Cool action scenes.
Yeah.
I did love how they portrayed Punisher. Like, this is probably, in terms of just being Punisher, he's like maybe one step below John Bernthal, maybe two, because John Bernthal really gives a lot. But yeah, definitely the writing was ass, but him being Punisher was good. Just no questions, just shoots him.
Yeah.
Don't bother with it, just kill it. Like, nah.
Yeah.
And I also like how this Jigsaw came into being better than the Netflix, because in the Netflix one, Frank just literally fucks up his face on purpose and lets him live.
Yeah.
In Warzone, Frank is just going to town, and he thought he killed him, but he didn't. Like, I feel like that's way more believable, that Frank thought he finished him off, but somehow he survived just off of some BS.
Yeah.
Then, Frank decides to let him live. And I'm like, no. Kill him. Kill him.
Yeah, I think that was our big thing with season 1 at the very end. I'm like, what the? Be Punisher. like, what do we do?
Just kill him.
But no, like even with all of that, where like the Netflix Punisher, like sometimes is Punisher and sometimes isn't Punisher, if you know what I mean. Even still, like John Bernthal is still like the fucking best. Yeah, but I don't know. I think that's all I have to say about that. Do you have anything else you want to add to that episode, or are we good?
To be honest, it's literally because the only other thing that's semi-interesting is, I guess, how Fisk and Vanessa are trying to like make things work. But to be honest, I'm not very interested in it, because it just seems, what to me it seems what's gonna happen is when Wilson stops trying to be the mayor and actually just goes on to become the Kingpin, I feel like Vanessa's just gonna fall in love with him all over again. And
Oh
just,
yeah. Yeah.
And when that happens, Adam is dead.
Yeah.
Adam is dead.
That's literally going to be the ending, or he kills Vanessa. Like that's the only two paths we're taking.
I don't want him to kill Vanessa, because even in the comics, Vanessa, if I remember correctly, Vanessa's like a really big lifeline. It would make now. Do I think Vanessa should die? Possibly, but I don't think Fisk should do it directly. Maybe indirectly because of his own actions. Maybe, but I mean, I'll let the writers figure that one out.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing much else to the episode. The Daredevil scene, not Daredevil, the Punisher scenes took it away. Matt and Fisk slowly coming back into themselves is also pretty good. But that's it. There's nothing much to go on. The scene where that guy thought he was a Skrull, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Don't
I
do
feel
that
like
again.
this whole season has been like kind of events happening. You know what I mean? Like with the Netflix show, there was always like an underlining theme and stuff, but like with these episodes, it just feels like now we're gonna do the courtroom episode. Now we're gonna do I don't even know what the fuck this current episode was. Like it feels very disconnected, you know. Whereas like season 3 was solid. It was like, all right, here's Bullseye's backstory. Isn't that fucked up? Here's Matt trying to find redemption for the events of like Defenders and shit like that. By the way, we're gonna have a whole episode dedicated to Karen, so that when Bullseye goes to try to kill her, you're really like, holy shit, please don't kill Karen. Like it just felt a lot tighter, whereas this one is just like, let's just what are we doing, guys? It's like in the writers' room, it's like, I don't know, what do you feel like doing, instead of having like a tight plan.
Yeah, because it really feels like they're really just trying to cock tease these two characters, just because.
Also,
I
somewhat
understand why. I somewhat understand why it's taken a while for Daredevil to become Daredevil, because his main antagonist is supposedly not being an antagonist yet or much. So there's not much for Daredevil to do.
Daredevil doesn't even know music exists at this point.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where I feel like with Kingpin and Daredevil, we're having the chicken and the egg situation. Yeah. What's going to happen first? Will Daredevil come out, which will force Fisk to become Kingpin, or will Fisk become Kingpin, which forces Matt to become Daredevil? It's one of those things, chicken or the egg.
Yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Fucking, they did the thing. They did the fucking thing again. Daredevil is blind, correct? We can all agree upon this?
Yes.
At the end of the episode, when he's going to get his gear, he has a secret compartment. Who did he ask to install that for him?
So, if I... Hold on. No. There actually is an explanation. There is a potential explanation for this.
Okay.
If this truly is supposed to be season 4, then I would say it's the guy who made Matt's suits. If you remember him. I forgot his name.
Milton.
I think so. Yeah, it's...
That's a potential.
I mean, it's one of those things where you have to watch the show. I guess
it's kind of like because it just snapped me back to the Ben Affleck Daredevil, where it has this apartment with like this water bed shit and like secret compartments everywhere. It's like, who the fuck built this for you, Matt? You're fucking blind. You can't even build IKEA furniture, Matthew. You could beat up guys, sure, because those involved all your senses, but like. How do you figure out mechanics? How do you do fucking anything? Like that to me just totally took me out. I'm like, what the? Because in the original Netflix show, he has a suit in a fucking suitcase. He has it in a suitcase in a fucking closet. Yeah. Come on now. Like, what the fuck is this? Here's my secret lair. Who fucking built that?
So if it wasn't Milton, the only thing it could have been Foggy before he passed, but like
what the fuck does Foggy know?
I don't know.
Exactly. They didn't think about that. They just thought, this shit cool. Also, why would he order helmets in different colors? He's not going to see it, is he? Right.
No. That's
okay.
The thing.
So
I always wondered.
The yellow and red is the colors of his father's like uniform when he was boxing, and also it's the first appearance of Daredevil. That's the suit that he wore. So okay, I get that. Black suit is like Shadowland stuff. That's homage to that. Then you have the classic red suit, but like, is Daredevil asking for these colors, or is someone just being like, oh yeah, they're definitely the same? Check it out. This fucking yellow suit's so fucking stupid. He wants to be stealthy. Check this shit out. Like, really, if you want to fuck over Daredevil, you just threaten the costume guy and be like, make the most loud and obnoxious colors possible for this suit. And then when Daredevil's trying to hide in the shadows, he's like, what's that bright orange thing doing here? And he's like, oh, fuck. And then he's fucked. Then again, he does wear a bright red costume in the comics, but Daredevil's not always trying to be stealthy. He's not like a Batman type of deal. For most of the time, he wants you to see him.
They're trying to make him Batman, though, but
they're trying to make him like
doing that though.
Poor Batman. Like, not a lot of resources Batman. Which Daredevil has always kind of been. Like, sometimes his law firm does a good job, and then sometimes his lawyering is literally just like, we will work for anything, pennies and crumbs. It doesn't matter. We just believe in justice, kind of thing. But then other times, sometimes that does very well, and then they become rich. It's like, it's on again, off again. Or if Kingpin decides to ruin his life one day, then he does that, and then Matt's in shambles.
I mean, Matt should hire an accountant to like really help his investments, but that's
I fucking hope so. What's opinion. This secret compartment charge, Matt? Oh, that's for none of your business.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, that's this week's episode. I have no idea what we're going to talk about next week. If nothing's going on in comic book land and nerd culture, then we'll probably just talk about episode 5. Again,
I'm just hoping that stop the cock tease. Just make episode 5 the last we see of those two dancing around. Just have them put on the damn suit.
Listen,
and fight bad guys.
They have less episodes than the Netflix one. I'm willing to wait for the Netflix one. Like I don't even think he barely put on the suit in season 3. It was his street clothing, his Born Again one.
But he was still being Daredevil. That's the thing.
Yes.
He was still being Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing: if he doesn't actually wear the suit, but he's still like actually fighting some guys or some shit, I can live with that. But like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they drop this courtroom stuff pretty soon, because like that's been like the most like, okay, wow, yes, we get it. Matt's a lawyer. Listen, yes, Matt Murdock is a lawyer in the comics, but that's not his Daredevil whole. Like that's just his job.
Okay, I disagree. I disagree. Keep the courtroom stuff, because those are like because like Punisher, the Punisher trial, that was good.
Yes, yeah.
That was good from the Netflix stuff. So keep the courtroom scene. Just make it better. Just make it better.
I
don't get to add in the Daredevil
Make it better and make it shorter. Because, like, the Punisher scenes and stuff were, like, courtroom scenes were short. Whereas, like, this one, they're dedicating whole episodes and the writing's just not strong enough to do it. But, anyways. I think that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this catches on, maybe we'll keep doing pre-recorded podcasts. If not, then maybe we'll go back to streaming. Who knows? Who cares? But anyways, the only thing I have to plug is my personal channel where I review books and stuff. I gotta get on my fucking Warbreaker review. I finished that book like 2 weeks ago and I still haven't talked about it. But yeah, eventually that will come out. And yeah, that will be linked down below. As well as Leon's book. Take it away, Leon. Plug your plug.
So, yeah, my book, I go by Mr. X. You can follow me on Instagram at Extraordinary Mr. X. My book is Patron Saint of Murder. You can get it on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles and, like major retailers and stuff like that. I'll have this guy put it in the link in the description if you'd be so kind. Thank you again for having me on the show and let me plug my stuff in, by the way. Yeah, it's urban fantasy, whodunit mystery. Stay tuned because I am working on book 2. Not sure when exactly that'll come out, so don't hold me to it, but it is in the works. So if you like book 1, you can look forward to book 2.
There we go.
So yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, all the generic YouTube stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
All right, laters.